Hello, all you lovely souls who revel in embracing life just as I do. This is Neerja Malik, and you are welcome into my world of I Embrace. And what do we intend to do here? We delve into the many layers and shades of my life, exploring resilience, positivity, strength, and the inherent fun and laughter that lies deep within each of us. Interludes from my own exciting and adventurous journey, my personal battles and victories that have brought forth innumerable lessons in my life. It is these learnings that I place on a golden platter with utmost humility for your personal consumption. Hello, my beloved ones. And it is so strange that I feel that however many thousands of people are listening in, and maybe many, many more, I feel that you are all a part and parcel of my very currently breathing being. Yes, I have mentioned before that people from the same soul families get together in different lifetimes, in different ways. But isn't it how beautifully we can use the same concept that all those who are listening in to me today and have been doing so since my birthday on the 11th of June 2023 to date, and God willing, till whenever we communicate, we connect, and we have our conversations. Yes, let me tell you that it's not just I speaking to you. You think that your thoughts, your questions, your ideas don't come back to me? And how do you think they get answered? Or how do you think you delve into those parts of my life that you would like to know more about? Because those vibrations of yours actually join together like a collective force, guiding me into what I have to say in the next episode. Of course, the last many episodes, the 30th, 31st, 32nd, 34th, 35th, in some way or the other, are dedicated entirely to my mother. But then aren't all the episodes from day one dedicated to her? Because isn't she and my father the reason why I'm here? So all these are dedicated not only to my parents, not only to my children, not only to my in-laws, they are dedicated to the entire world, where all the souls that I may have lost in this lifetime and the earlier ones as premature miscarriages meet up with me in the different colleges I speak at the hospitals, at the clubs, at different forms of life. And why do I feel that they all belong to me and I to them, regardless of age and stage? It is because we all belong to the same soul family. And what are the things that one needs to be grateful for? Yes, the pandemic was shattering. It took away so many precious people from our lives. But what did it do? It made things happen online. Was that what was meant? I guess. Otherwise, how could I have been able to connect with thousands and thousands of people the world over and embrace you all through this beautiful mode of a podcast? It is connecting lives all over the world, regardless of which part we may be in. And everyone has access to all these things thanks to the digitalization of everything happening. So at this moment, I just bow my head in wonder and in the deepest of gratitude that even this is working in our favor. No, I'm not saying my favor, because it's not I alone who am talking with you or to you. You are communicating back through your vibrations with me. And as things are happening around me, miraculously, they are to be conveyed to you so that we can all collectively listen. While I'm talking to you, am I not clarifying things in my own mind? Am I not using you like a sounding board? Are you not listening to me as a sounding board to your own lives and all that you are going through? And aren't you getting answers to your questions? Answers through me, an instrument, a conduit? Sometimes, let me truthfully tell you that I am not even aware of what I am going to speak next. But we are all guided. I am guided to speak and to listen to your vibrations, and you are guided to listen and to speak further. Because if you pick up things that have helped you, as I have picked up things that have helped me in my life, and all we do is pass it on. And what is it? It is food for thought. It is food for nourishing and nurturing our minds, our emotions, our feelings, and to deepen our connections with one another. What is the purpose of our lives? Maybe this is the purpose of mine: to communicate, to counsel cancer patients, to have gone through it twice, septicemia thrice, whatever mishaps, to be able to bounce back with the grace of God and to pass it on. All my experiences, all the miracles, whether they're miracle babies or precious pregnancies or connections with the youth, it is one big round circle. And we are all linked to each other, and we are all linked to the Almighty, Supreme God. For whatever is happening in our lives and in our interconnections is all His doing. Not a leaf stirs without His knowledge or His ensuring or wanting it to happen that way. Not a thought that is processed in our minds. We think that we are processing, that we are doing. Not at all. It is being done through us. Yes, we have been given the choice to choose what we do. मैं इधर जाऊं या उधर जाऊं. Yes, that freedom is given to us. But the support of the universe, the support of each of you, the support that comes in a million ways, in a million thoughts, in the twinkling of a moment, twinkling of the eyes, twinkling of someone's smile, that suddenly uplifts you from the depths of, or the dungeons of despair. Yes, this is life. To be able to make of it what we are meant to, and to go with the flow. So now to come back to December of 1987. I'm sitting at the Shardamath in Chennai, and Sarjuma is next to me, seated. And when I come out of the beautiful bhajan that I have heard, I see her staring at me. And I turn to her and I smile, and then she asks me this question: do you know people in Delhi? As mentioned before, she's come from Whitefield, I've come from Bombay, we're sitting in Chennai, and she's asking me about Delhi. And I said yes, and she said, did you know Usha Behl? And I said, of course, she's my father's sister. And she had passed away in 1962 when I was all of 8 years old. And then the unraveling began. I slowly got to know that when my aunt was going through cancer, the only 3 women, or rather 4 women, who were allowed at home at Canning Lane in Delhi were my teen Devya, with whom I had just met that day at the birth celebrations of Paramahansa Ramakrishna in the Shardamath. And then I got to know that most of my aunts who were part of the Ramakrishna mission, that most of my cousins and Maya and lots others, even some settled in Chennai, were part of the Sunday school of the Ramakrishna mission and told me stories of the roles they played of Krishna and Dhruv and the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and the fun they had as children, as their mothers looked after this brood of wonderfully growing up, spiritually inclined children who were exposed with such wonderment to the joys of the qualities of good human beings. Gosh, that was a momentous moment. Yeah, it doesn't sound well together, but it was a miraculously momentous moment for me. And they told me that when my aunt was really very unwell, these 3, Lali Auntie, Sarjuma, Ranima, and Kamla Sarthi, they were the ones who were allowed to meet her. The Ramakrishna mission Swamis felt that my aunt was a Jivan Mukta, not to come back on earth, but to slip out of the cycle of birth and death. And it is so strange, but the food that she ate was cooked by these wonderful 4 friends of hers, and they would come with their harmonium and they would meditate with her and they would sing bhajans. And they said that my aunt would be at peace, looking beautifully serene and sublime. So that is how I met this family, which became and still is and will be a very important part of my existence. So we got reconnected from the early 1950s. We got reconnected in the late 1980s. And to date, the bonding just gets stronger, and I am eternal gratitude for the wonderful warmth that this family has shown I and mine. I realized with the passing of time how my aunt Usha Behel got connected with the Ramakrishna Mission. Kamla Sarthi had gone to her house on a fundraising drive for the Ramakrishna Mission in Delhi. And I think my aunt was the only one who invited her in and said, you look like you could do with a cup of tea. And that is how my aunt got involved with the Ramakrishna Mission. Kamla Ma had her soul sisters. And who were they? The very three that were meeting me for the first time. I don't know how to express to you the emotions that ran through me, because this aunt of mine was my favorite aunt. And her daughter was my favorite cousin sister, as was and is her son. So suddenly the links of soul families got reunited or relinked, and it goes on to the next generation. I know Maya's children very well. Mine know hers too. And God is great. What is that song? We're all in this together for the fun of it. Not only for the fun of it, I think for the betterment of all our souls, leading directly, indirectly to our better and higher selves. So once when my cousin Uma, Usha Behel's daughter, was here from America, and Kamla Sarthi Ma took us to the Ramakrishna Mission, we met up with Swami Ranganathanandaji. And I insisted that he initiate me. And he said, but I don't have the powers. I can't. And I said, no, you have to. Now, the relationship that our family had with him was such that anywhere my father was transferred, whether it was Dehradun or Bombay or Wellington, Kunur, or Delhi, wherever, if Swami Ranganathanandaji came there, he had to come home, and there was always a satsang. Not necessarily the devotees of the Ramakrishna Mission, because we may not have been in touch with them, but definitely my parents' friends, and how he drew them to himself with his most magnificent and magnetic personality. So I was able to tell him, or rather convey to him, my demands. And it so happened that while Uma and Kamla Ma were with us, he spoke to Swami Tapasyanandaji, who coincidentally on the 16th of April 1988 was going to initiate the youth, or some people in Chennai. I was so excited. We meet Swami Tapasyanandaji, and I was given some books to read on Paramahansa Ramakrishna. Definitely, of course, the autobiography that was written by M. And now a strange thought occurs to me that my father's two sisters, real sisters, Usha Behel and Pratibha Puri, actually learned the Bengali language for one reason alone, that they wanted to get the actual essence of the words of M when he wrote about Paramahansa Ramakrishna. They wanted to feel the words, to understand the words, to be able to chew on them, to get to know their Guru as deeply as they possibly could. And thereby began a chain or a ripple effect where a number of their cousin sisters became initiated, as did their children, as did I and my cousins too. And all I can say that the faith in God, in one's Guru, in one's family, in one's friends, and more than anything else, in oneself, the belief, the trust, the surrender, the knowledge that all this exists and is the very foundation of our being. This is what is the backbone or the rock of Gibraltar to facing, conquering, and overcoming any adversities that come our way. Yes, it is this that gives us the resilience and the courage to face everything, to bounce back, and to carry on with one ultimate truth, that we are born and we will all die. But why fear the process? Because when we die, we may not even know that we are dead or dying, but live each moment to the utmost with bliss, with anandam, with joy, with gratitude, with grace and dignity. And that, I think, is what has strengthened my family members and I to a large extent. This complete and total, very, very humble surrender at the feet of the Supreme Almighty One. And so strange that here too, my initiation on that day, 16th of April, 1988, led to a couple of my friends' initiation. No, not at the Ramakrishna Mission, but the Shardamath, when the Mataji came from Bhakshineshwar. And she also, at a different time, initiated my twins. So they get the undivided love and attention of all the nuns at Shardamath, who have seen them grow from the time I got them as barely 5-month babies and put them in the shrine straight from the airport. And they have been spoiled silly with extra coconut laddus kept for them. And they have loved being a part and parcel of the mutt. Of course, they have spoken their minds there to the extent that my son did also tell the nuns there that they don't have to worry at all about anything. If they need to be transported, his mother will transport transport them. My son has also offered, in no uncertain terms, my services to them, saying that I think he was hardly 4 or 5, and he assured them that when he grows up, he will drive them around. But till such time, if they need anything done, or rather his mother and vehicle were completely at their disposal. I think the twins saw me do this, that if I could be part and parcel of whatever service I could do, I would. And I think God is great for exposing them to places like the Mutt and Bala Mandir and giving them such a healthy, spiritual way of life to make sure that they feel the feelings of others less fortunate than themselves, perhaps, and to ensure that they are humane, loving, considerate, compassionate, concerned human beings, impartially towards not only humans, but also the animal kingdom. Also to appreciate the elements, also to appreciate nature, whether it be in terms of trees and flowers and birds and bees and water and sun and moon. I'm grateful immensely for the way that they are growing up, have grown up, and will continue to do so. So these are my blessings to everyone, not only those of you who are listening in, but the whole wide world. Let us love one another. Let us take care of each other, regardless of whether we are connected to each other by blood or not, because we are connected to each other, heart to heart and soul to soul. We belong to the earth. The earth belongs to us. We belong to each other. And let us love each other so that we can live in peace and harmony, not in suffering of the wars that surround us. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I Embrace isn't just about my journey of conquering cancer. It's about embracing life in all its entanglement and beauty. Remember, in this journey of life, you are never alone. And I need to thank you for becoming a part of this inspiring journey. Thank you for joining me today on I Embrace. and my heartfelt wishes. Stay resilient, stay positive, and most importantly, keep embracing life in all its glory.